What were the hottest light novels in Japan this past week? Well, we're gonna find out coming right up. Hello everybody, Justus R. Stone here, and on this channel I cover all things light novels, news, reviews, and countdowns just like this video that you're watching right at this very moment. So if you love light novels or you just want to know more about them, you should subscribe. Now in this video we're going to be counting down the top 10 best-selling light novels in Japan for the week of July 2nd to the 8th of 2018, and I gotta be honest, man, it's not a very exciting list this week. In fact, even fudged the numbers a little bit because there was one title that appeared twice on this list. And no, I don't mean two different volumes. I mean literally the same book, just different editions. And not even like, you know what? Let's just get into the list and I'll explain when we get there. At number 10 with 3,310 copies sold, we have Kishibe Rohan wa sakebanai. This one, of course, the spin-off of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, focusing on the character Rohan Kishibe. These ones are just short stories, apparently. I know that at one point, one of the volumes of this series, the stories appeared in other anthologies. I don't know if that's any longer the case, but these are different authors contributing stories that are featuring this character. It kind of translates to Rohan Kishibe does not shout. Short story collection, 4th volume. Let's just get as literal as we can in that title. So, like I said, this one's been on the list actually for a couple of weeks. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, really popular series. One that I suppose my fan cred takes a hit when I say that I've never watched it or read the manga. We do have the manga, though, in English from Viz. We also, of course, have the anime. It streams on Crunchyroll. We do not have a license for any of the light novels that have been spun off from the series. And in fact, these ones aren't even the only light novel spin-offs of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I don't know, maybe we'll get them someday. Like I said, Viz sometimes picks up light novels that are tied into their titles, but well, they haven't really recently, so maybe they're stopping that, or they just haven't bothered yet. So we'll see what this one holds down the road. At number 9 with 3,898 copies sold, volume number 2 of Mahoutsukai de Hikikomori. An Oji-san, old man, was reincarnated thanks to a kind goddess. He wished for a healthy body. However, for some reason, he received the cheat ability to use powerful magic instead. Even so, he rarely used the ability. When he, now named Shiu, turned 11, the goddess appeared and informed him, "Become an adventurer and enjoy life." He went to the royal capital in order to become an adventurer. On his way there, he met a beast mount, Feles, who became his pet. From there, he began his new life. Shiu's world broadened little by little as he took on requests at the guild and interacted with different people at the royal capital. Shiu, the boy with a truly powerful ability, starts his easy-going life in a fluffy, different world. I honestly think this one's in the top 10 because of fluffy. I'm not trying to say anything fetish about Japan. I'm just saying, like, it's cute. I mean, Isekai plus OP plus cute, fluffy mascot. I mean, what more could you ask for a winning title? Anyway, I know this one, the original, the very first volume, it did appear in the top 10. So I'm not too sure what it is that's really driving this one. The one thing that I'm not too sure about in the description, I mean, Hikikomori, now somebody correct me if I'm wrong, because I may be wrong, but isn't that like the Japanese shut-ins? Like, well, how does that doesn't really sound like it fits with this description, so maybe I got it wrong, or maybe it's just a horrible description. I don't know. If you do, let me know in the comments down below. At number 8, with 4,281 copies sold, we've got volume number 10 of Isekai Maou to Shoukan Shoujo no dorei majutsu, which we have released in English as How Not to Summon a Demon Lord. This one, of course, is licensed by J Novel Club. They've released volume 4 on July 23rd, volume 4 comes out. This one is currently airing on Crunchyroll, the anime. I haven't really heard a whole lot about it, honestly. But I think it's only like 2 episodes out, so it's probably early yet. Have you watched the first 2 episodes? What do you think? From the sounds of it, though, it sounded like they got almost halfway through book 1 in just the first episode. So I'm starting to think like this might be one of those ones where they try to cram like 5 volumes into 12 episodes. I don't know how well that ever really works out. I know it didn't really work great for Danmachi. It wasn't horrible, but I don't think the anime certainly lived up to the greatness of the light novels in that case. So anyway, if you've watched the first couple episodes, let me know what you think in the comments down below. At number 7, with 5,478 copies sold, a title that has hung in there for a while on the top 10. Not really surprising because it's a very popular ongoing series, and that is the latest volume in the Monogatari series, and that is Yoii Monogatari. Now, of course, this by Nishio Ishin. We've had a extensive anime based on the Monogatari series. In fact, I believe there's just a new series that's being prepped, or like a new season that's going to be coming out for that one. We do have these books in English from Vertical. The most recent one to release was Hana Monogatari. I actually have a copy that I'm going to be reviewing probably soon because I really like that series, actually. And of course, the anime you can stream on Crunchyroll. There is a manga that's now been started based on the Monogatari books. No announcement at this point of it being licensed in English, but it would not surprise me if that happens at some time in the future. At number 6, with 9,073 copies sold, the latest in the Naruto books, and that is Shikamaru Shinden. Now, this is the third and final book in the 3 novels that were released as sort of a celebration. So we had a book with Naruto, a book with Sasuke, and now we have a book with Shikamaru. And this one, it says that this takes place during the 5 Shadow Talks. Kino Nozumi's brains, Shikamaru challenges intelligence warfare and psychological warfare with each country. So, if you're familiar with the Boruto timeline, this takes place during the 5 Shadow Talks. I've not watched Boruto, so I don't really know that much about it. As far as I know, this is the last one in these Shinden series. These ones haven't been licensed by Viz. However, Viz has licensed, well, I mean, they have the Naruto manga license as well as the Boruto license, and they have licensed light novel spin-offs of Naruto in the past. So now that this third and final one is out in this series, it wouldn't surprise me if maybe before the end of the year we hear an announcement that Viz has picked these up. But again, who knows? But it strikes me it isn't impossible, that's for sure. At number 5, with 9,378 copies sold, Sakai Wakee ni Ochiteiru. This one is based on the lyrics of the first song made by Chico with Honeyworks. Now, of course, if you're familiar, Honeyworks has had a number of their songs turned into light novels and then into anime even. What was the last one? It was 5 centimeters apart, or Our Love is Always 5 centimeters apart. It was something like that. They've also had a couple of other series and OVAs and stuff based on it. This is the story of Misake, who has a one-sided love with a boy from her music club at school, but she doesn't have the courage to confess. Instead, she talks regularly about her feelings with her best friend, Tsubomi, until the day where Tsubomi realizes that she's also fallen in love with the same boy, and she decides to tell Misaki. Gotta love these love triangles. Honeyworks has got a big thing about the whole love thing and teenage angst and everything else. I'm not too sure. I know that at one point these light novels were kind of set in the same school, but just told stories of different kids in the school. I don't know if that's still the case with this one, or if it's just a complete standalone. I really don't know how these ones are structured. So at number 4, with 13,828 copies sold. Wow, that's a pretty, 4,000 copy jump. Mirai no Mirai. So Mirai of the Future. This one, of course, has been on the list for a number of weeks now. It is the novelization of the upcoming animated film by the same creator of like The Beast and the Boy, The Girl Who Leapt Through Time. Now, this is the one that I was talking about. So this book, it's the same text, but it actually appeared in the top 10 twice this week. One was the Kadokawa Bunko, which was in second place, I believe them. And the other one was Kadokawa Tsubasa Bunko. So, 2 different editions of the exact same text. And it's not like, we've had ones where, like, say, Konosuba, I remember a number of months ago, had like a special edition where it came with a radio play and had a different cover and all that. Well, this really looks almost exactly the same. I think it's just like there's different borders around it and stuff. So in any case, I decided to combine them because I just thought this list was already not super exciting. So I was kind of like, I don't really want to talk about Mirai no Mirai the same over and over again. This one has been, not surprisingly, licensed by Yen On. I don't think there's a release date even tentatively at this point, but knowing the way that the North American market works, I would not expect to see this until at the earliest, early 2019. That is my guess. Again, I don't have any information that confirms this one way or the other, but we are going to be getting this in English, and I didn't look into the license of the actual film itself, but wouldn't surprise me if this has already been picked up. All of his other ones have been licensed. And this one, again, like, it's just coming out in Japan, I believe in the next couple of days, like next week or so. So we probably won't hear about anything until after that. So, but if you know something about the anime license, let me know in the comments down below. At number 3, with 14,470 copies sold, Kono Subarashii Sakai ni Shukufuku Extra. Ano orokamono ni mo kyakkou or that big old mouthful is Konosuba, God's blessing on this wonderful world extra. That fool is also in the spotlight. The supporting role can be wonderful. So this is a spin-off, of course, of the Konosuba novels. This one features Dust instead of Kazuma. Now, Dust, these stories, as far as I know, like some of them have Dust interacting with other characters in the series. Like I believe, at least the last volume, he was with was that with Darkness, and the first one was with Yunyun. I can't remember, but in any case, it's Dust's adventures that are separate from the main adventures with our main cast. So, total spin-off series. I don't think it's exactly what she did with Megumin, because Megumin's story, I believe, was a prequel, at least the first part of it. This, as far as I know, is running sort of concurrent with the main series. But again, I'm not 100% certain. If you have more information, feel free to let me know in the comments down below. At number 2, with 15,845 copies sold, volume number 3 of Isekai Nonbiri no Ka, or Farming Life in Another World. We do not have an English license for this series. Machio Hiraku died in the modern world from an illness. When he meets God, he has the opportunity to be reincarnated in another world, and he gets 4 wishes on top of that because of his hard work and having to deal with the suffering in the previous life. So Machio wishes for a body that can never get sick, to live in a peaceful place, to know the language of his new home, and to be a farmer. With his handy shape-shifting farming tool and surrounded by kind villagers, Machio is ready to live his new life. These are the tales of his simple days as a farmer. This is another one of those series that seems to be playing on that whole idea of working hard in businesses and corporate worlds sucks. So if you were given the chance, live a more simple life, a life of the earth. I believe, though, there's a couple of different descriptions about this series. I believe one of them says that because of his illness, he was infirmed, and that one of the things that brought him peace was a TV show about farming. So that's where the whole farming thing comes in. So it's not exactly just kind of out of the blue that he's like, I want to be a farmer. But there's actually like a connection to this idealized vision of what he has of what farming life is. So, no English license for this one, but I have to be honest, it sounds like the kind of title that we might get at some point. And it seems to be doing pretty well, actually. This is not the first time that this title has been in the top 10. So, maybe sometime. As far as it looks like, as much as Anime Expo gave us some non-isekai titles, it certainly still gave us isekais. So the whole genre is not dead and forgotten by any means. So I wouldn't be surprised if maybe we see this one. Certainly, I don't think we have any light novels that focus on farming, so it would be something a little bit different. Finally, at number 1, crushing the competition, with 43,123 copies sold, Volume 14 of Konosubarashi Sakai ni Shukufuku o. So, Konosuba, God's blessing on this wonderful world. The main series, of course, featuring Megumin, Kazuma, Darkness, and how could anybody even for a second forget Aqua? Very, very funny series. A lot of fun to read this series. I get a big kick out of it. It is released, obviously, in English by Yen On. They have released up to Volume 5 at this point. I'm trying to think, Volume 6, I think, might come out in August, I want to say. I know it's coming out soon. Unfortunately, it's in my pile of to-be-reads, number 5. But I will get there because, as I said, I really like this series. Actually, it's very entertaining. Then, of course, there was an anime. They have announced that there's going to be a new movie coming out based on this series. You can actually stream the anime on Crunchyroll. I imagine the movie will eventually be the same. And, so check out Konosuba. You can actually also check out the manga, which is licensed by Yen Press as well. So if you want to get your Konosuba fix, you certainly can. And funny enough, actually, they're just taking pre-orders for an Aqua Figma character, if you have an interest in Figmas. I do, but they're kind of pricey, and they're coming out with one on Megumin, and I'm on a budget, so I'd rather buy Megumin. Yeah, that's right. I'm a fan of Megumin. Best girl. Sorry. Fight me on it. Well, no, don't fight me on it. I don't like to fight. Feel free to disagree. This week, I want to say a special thanks to Ki Duong Ngayen, Bob Thompson, Ola OJ the Bull, Yuki Ali, and Mitchell Von Region, as well as all the rest of my supporters on Patreon for their continued support in helping this channel, as well as helping my other projects, such as the Light Novel Podcast. So those are the top 10 best-selling light novels in Japan for the week of July 2nd to the 8th of 2018. Like I said, it really wasn't that exciting a list, I don't think, this week. But I think we've got some big titles coming up shortly, so there's probably going to be a big old shake-up in the list within the next week or so. So, well, we'll all just pay attention. I'll be here next week to let you know how that turns out. So again, if you're brand new to this channel and you love light novels, you should subscribe. I do this countdown every week, as well as 2 to 3 reviews on a weekly basis, and this is also the home of the Light Novel Podcast. Thank you so much for watching this video. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Till then, bye-bye for now.